My name is Ben Elliott. I'm the Fleet Maintenance Manager for Transport Heritage New South Wales, in charge of overseeing maintenance and restoration of the operational fleet. We have to do maintenance work obviously because we use the assets and they require a fair bit of preventative maintenance, and then obviously we restore new items into the fleet that require stripping down and then rebuilding from the ground up. 2705 was the mainstay locomotive on the loop line for around 20 years. We stopped operating that in 2022 due to boiler condition. We're currently overhauling the boiler on that, and that developed in scope slightly from a new front tube plate in the tubes to replacing sections of the outer firebox and internal components. It's scheduled to be back in service in March. It's coming back out as James for the Thomas the Tank engine, and we'll be partaking in our first day out with Thomas events in 2025. 3801's currently in the workshop having some defects that were identified, corrected. We've just finished fitting the second set of new slide bars to that. We will be moving on to repositioning the wheels and the other work required to put that back into service. We're hoping in the first half of 2025. People can look forward to seeing it back on the main line as the core engine in our operational fleet, being the flagship for our operations. CPH 13, we're overhauling at the moment. The loop line project and expansion of that is going to require more capacity and more redundancy for our other CPH 18. So we've decided to restore CPH 13 to provide backup and increased capacity. CPH 13 will end up with all new body sides. Mechanically, the engine and transmission are being fully overhauled at the moment. We're hopeful to have that back into service in the second half of next year. 6029 is part of our core operational fleet of steam locomotives. We're currently replacing super elements in that locomotive, now being 10 years old, and they've started to fail. We're also doing corrosion repairs, the internal surface of the tank. The back tank next week will be blasted and painted internally, with it estimated to be back in service in March. 4520 has been in a strip condition now for around 5 years. It came out of service for a generator replacement, and we found a whole heap of other issues with the locomotive. As part of the works, we had to overhaul the bogies. We did have trouble getting bearings for the bogies, which we had to have specially manufactured. The work is now focused on the undergear of the engine. Then next year, we'll move in the final stages of completing that project. The BSR we're doing in collaboration with North West Coast Builders. That'll be our second buffet car to enable us to have buffet service on the loop line project when it's realised. We're doing the body and undergear component of that restoration. It's currently in the paint shop, almost ready to receive paint, which will go on today or tomorrow. Once that's completed, North West Coast Builders will start the interior fit out. The plan to complete that will be sort of mid to second half of next year. The HFS was a project that started not long after I started with Transport Heritage, and is almost 6 years old. Most of the car is basically been completely rebuilt. So all the fittings in the HFS were all re-nickel plated. We replaced all the internal refinishing, likewise with the seats. The seats were all replaced, all the draw gear, everything. It's been a full, basically ground up restoration. So we're fairly proud of the HFS, a significant achievement for the whole team.